So, very good morning to one and all. Welcome to VLSA. Once again, welcome to VLSA class, unit number 4. So, design for testability. Okay, in the design for testability, in the last class, we discussed about ad hoc testable design techniques. Right, in the last class, we discussed about ad hoc testable design technique. Now, let's go. In this class, we are going to concentrate on scan-based design techniques. Scan-based techniques. Okay. So in the scan-based technique, so as in the last class, we discussed about controllability and observability. So in the controllability and observability, we can these controllability and observability can be enhanced or increased by providing more accessible logic nodes with the use of additional primary input lines. Okay, by the use of additional primary input lines and multiplexers. Okay, by using this additional primary input line and multiplexer, we are going to increase the controllability and observability by providing more number of accessible logic nodes. Okay. However, but because of these additional primary input lines and multiplexers, so the use of additional, that is the additional IO pins, we are going to increase the use of more number of IO pins. So because these IO pins are very costly, and also there is a chance of not only that, there is a chance of getting circuit becomes costly, and also the chip fabrication, not only for the chip fabrication, but also for the packing also, it is very, very difficult. Okay, so therefore, the alternative method in this case, so the alternative method in this case is the use of scan registers with both shift and parallel load capabilities. Okay, the alternative method in this case is you can use scan registers with both shift and parallel load capability. So the scan design technique, basically it is a structured approach to design a sequence circuit for testing. Okay, basically this is a structured approach to design a sequential circuit for testing. And here the storage cells in the registers are used as observation points. Okay, in this scan-based technique, whatever the storage cells we are going to use as in the registers, they can be used as observation points and control points, or sometimes it can be used as both cases, both. Okay, so that is a observation as well as the control point. So by using this scan-based scan design technique, the testing of a sequence circuit is reduced to a problem of testing a combinational circuit. Okay, that is the main advantage of this scan-based technique. Okay, that means the testing of the sequence circuit is reduced to the testing of a combinational circuit. Okay, to the testing of a combinational circuit. That is the main important. So in general, basically the sequential circuit consists of, basically what is the sequential circuit? It consists of a combinational circuit, and also you're having some feedback circuit. That is, you can call it the storage. Feedback circuit is nothing more, you can call it the storage element. Okay, a sequence circuit basically consists of a combinational circuit and a feedback circuit, and this feedback circuit nothing but we can call as a storage element. So in this scan-based design, the storage elements are connected in the form of long serial shift registers. You can call it as a scan path. Okay, in the scan-based technique, we are going to use a storage element are connected to form a long serial shift register. Okay, long serial shift registers, and we can call this a long serial shift register is as a scan path. So shift registers. So that is shown in the figure. Now let us see the figure now here. Okay, this is the circuit diagram. Okay, this is the scan-based technique circuit. It consists of just observe. This is the combination circuit, and this is the feedback network. Here we are having a circuit like this. Okay, so this is the main circuit diagram of scan-based design circuit. It consists of different type of multiplexers. We are also using the multiplexers here. Okay, for every circuit you are having a multiplexers also we are going to use. That means we are going to use the by using the multiplexer, we are going to control the we can use the mode control. Okay, by using multiplexer, it may be test mode or it may be normal mode, so that it can be possible by using the multiplexers in the circuit. Okay, so in the test mode, so what happen is the scan signal is entered into the scan path. Okay, the scan signal in the test mode, signal is entering the scan signal is entered into the scan path, that is entered into the shift register, and the output of the last stage is scanned out. Okay, the output of the last stage is scanned out in this case. Okay, here just remember. So this is a scan in, and whatever the last stage we are having, this is scan out. This is the last point. Okay, that is the scanned out signal. Okay, this is the input and this is the output of the signal. And in the normal mode, so what happens is scan path is disabled. In the normal mode, what happened? The scan path is disabled and the circuit function as a sequential circuit. Okay, the circuit behaves like a sequential circuit. So remember, in the test mode, we are going to apply a scan signal by using scan signal. In this case, the signal is entered here, scan signal is entered, and the last, this is the last bit of the latch. So that means the output, scan output will be entered, comes out here from this last bit. Okay, so all these signals will be connected to the combination circuit to get the output now in this case. Similarly, so in the normal mode, okay, in the normal mode, so what happened? All the scan, that is in the particularly in case of normal mode, the scan path is disabled. Okay, the scan path is disabled, but the circuit behaves like a actual normal sequential circuit. So here the steps, that means a sequence of test sequence will be, we are having different test path in this case. Okay, these are different steps we are having. The first one in this case is first thing is we are going to test the mode. Okay, we are going to test the mode. That means the mode will be initially it is this test mode. Okay, set the mode to test, and so in this test mode, all the latches are accept data. Okay, so all the latches, what are the latches are here, they will accept data from the scan input. Okay, in the test mode, first point is, first you can go for the test mode. So in this test mode, all the latches, what are the latches you are having here in the feedback loop, so they will accept data from this scan input. And the second point is here, the verify the scan path by shifting in and out. Verify the scan path by shifting in and out of the test data. Okay, by shifting all the data, in this case, in and out of the shift data, the test data. And third type in this case is scanning is desired state vector into the shift register. Okay, that is shift the all the desired data. Okay, but shift the data so such that desired state vector into the shift register. Okay, desired shift data will be entered into the shift register. Up to that, we can scan the circuit, scan the signal, and then the fourth step in this case is apply the test pattern to the primary input. Okay, apply the test pattern to the primary input here. This is the primary input. Here, once all these conditions we entered, so what happened? We are going to apply test patterns in this case. Okay, primary input pins. Now, after entering the test pattern, then set the mode to normal. Okay, set the mode to normal and observe the primary outputs. Okay, observe the primary outputs of the circuit under sufficient time of propagation. Okay, because we are applying some signal here, so the combination circuit is having some propagation time. Okay, some delay will be there. So after that time, you can observe the output at this point, and then assess the clock signal, circuit clock for one machine time or one machine cycle to capture the output of the combination circuit into the registers. Okay, after that, we're going to set the clock signal such that whatever the data is there now, that will be entered into the registers. Okay, and then shift the mode again to the test mode, and then we can content of the registers will be nothing but we can call it as scan out. Okay, in the test mode, whatever the data is there now in this case, scan out data, that is the scan out the content of the registers, and at the same time the system is again ready for the next pattern, scan pattern. Okay, again ready at the same time the scan in the next pattern. Okay, we are going to scan the next pattern of the test. Okay, and repeat the same process until the pattern is again applied. Okay, again the product, that is these are the different steps we are going to apply in this case. Okay, so that is about the scan path technique. So now in this case, the storage cell in the scan design is implemented by using, okay, yeah, what are the storage cell is there? We can implement it by using edge triggered flip-flops, or master slave flip-flop, or level sensitive latches, which are controlled by complementary clock signals. Okay, which are controlled by the complementary clock signals in order to eliminate the race problem. Okay, race-free operation. Okay, in order to eliminate the race problem, that is, we are going to get, because we are using the complement clock signals in this level sensitive latches in order to get the race-free operation. Okay, so that is about the circuit. Now, similarly, let us consider the scan path design by using edge triggered circuit with the D flip-flop is shown in the next figure. That is the, we'll go for the next figure here. So this is the figure. That is the scan-based design technique. Okay, time-based design of an edge triggered D flip-flops. Okay, so just observe here, we are having the two latches like this, and we can apply the clock signal, and we are getting the another clock signal is complement of this clock signal in order to remedy the race problem here. And this is the data, the scan data we are going to apply, and this is the scan data depending upon test mode or normal mode. Okay, so test mode is logic 1 and normal mode is logic 0. Okay, that is the data we are going to apply now in this case. Okay, so now the whatever the data, this is the circuit. Okay, so in some cases so in some cases, that for example, in large high-speed circuits, so a single clock pulse is not sufficient. So in that case, to overcome these difficulties, we are going to use the two separate clock signals. Okay, two separate clock signal, one for normal operation and one for the shift operation. Okay, one for normal operation and then for shift operation. Similarly, the most important approach among the scan-based design is level sensitive scan design. Again, level sensitive scan design. In this, this level sensitive scan design incorporates both level sensitive as well as the scan pass approach using the shift registers. So in this case, we are going to use level sensitive scan design, level sensitive scan design, which consists of both level sensitive and also scan path approach using shift registers. Okay, so this scan path that is level sensitive scan design removes the hazards and races in the circuit. Okay, so that is the main, and also because of in this scan path technique, this what happens is automatic test pattern generated is also simplified in this case. Okay, also simplified. And similarly, we are having another is boundary scan method is also used in the testing pattern of the printed circuit board. Testing the printed circuit board, we are going to use the boundary scan test method. And also the multiple chip modules carrying multiple chips also. Okay, the boundary scan test method is also used for testing printed circuit boards and multiple modules carrying multiple chips. Okay, and the main disadvantage of this scan-based technique in this case is because we are using in this design, the scan design, we are going to use more complex latches and flip-flops and IO pins and interconnecting wires. Okay, we are using latches, flip-flops and IO pins and also interconnect wires also we are using in the scan design. So this requires more chip area. Okay, this requires more chip area. That means the testing time per test pattern is also increased due to shifting time and long time, long registers. That is the main disadvantages of the scan-based technique, right? So there is the method we are going to increase basically in case of testability, observability and controllability can be increased by providing different type of accessible logic block in addition of primary input lines and also multiplexes. But what happens is we are going to increase the cost of the device so that in the fabric device, so that in order to eliminate this method, we are going to use the scan-based technique. Okay, and this is the structure of the scan-based technique. So in the next class, we can go for the built-in, built-in self-test. Okay, built-in self-test technique. In the next class, we can go for the built-in self-test technique. So this one, right? So today I'm going to stop the screen now.